Every town has one. That old building that people just drive by, the lot that's been sitting vacant for years, a reminder of what used to be there. But what if this could be a calling for what's coming next? What if this could be a new garden, a community playground, or a home for a new local business? That's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm Natalie Francesco, a Brownfield Redevelopment Specialist for NJIT TAB, and today we're tackling EPA Brownfield Grants. First things first, who can actually receive this funding? The EPA has a specific list of eligible groups: state, local, and tribal governments, nonprofits, redevelopment agencies, regional councils, quasi-governmental entities like land banks, school districts, and more. If your organization is on the list, that's great. But if you're not sure, that's your first step. You should stop right here and contact a technical assistance to brownfield provider like me. We're here to help you figure it out. The EPA offers several types of grants, each for a different stage of redevelopment. Let's map out a plan together. Imagine that this is a property in your community and it's been empty for a long time and you have a great idea for it, but first you have some questions. You start here. You can't build a plan if you don't know what you're dealing with. Assessment grants are for playing detective. Assessment grants essentially fund things like environmental assessments. These are the phase 1s and the phase 2s to figure out exactly what's contaminated on the site and what needs to get done. They also fund brownfield inventories, site reuse planning, and community outreach. Okay, your assessment is done. You have your answers. Now it's time for some action. The cleanup grant provides the money to do the actual remediation work. This can include activities like excavation, installing pump and treat systems, or capping contaminated areas. But one key requirement with a cleanup grant is that the applicant must own the site in order to be eligible for this grant. RLF is different, and it's powerful. Think of it as a pay-it-forward fund for your entire community. The EPA gives you seed money to start your own local fund. You can then loan it out for cleanups. When the loans are paid back to you, the money goes back into the fund, ready to be loaned out for the next project. It's perfect for tackling multiple sites and can clean up more sites over time. RLF is a powerful grant because it offers flexibility. The loan is usually low or no interest and can be used for a portion of subgrants. But what if your plan is bigger? You have the park, but there's also an old gas station down the street that still has a question mark over it. The Multipurpose Grant is your multitasking friend. It lets you bundle planning, assessment, and cleanup activities for one or multiple sites. One important note, cleanup must happen at least one site, and the applicant must own that site to be eligible. Keep in mind that the multipurpose and RLF grants are offered on alternating years, so always check with your TAB provider, like me, to see which ones are available when you're ready to apply. What if the presence of brownfields has contributed to unemployment or underemployment in your community? The EPA offers job training grants. This program helps recruit, train, and place local residents into brownfield-related jobs, building a skilled workforce for site cleanup and redevelopment. Okay, you've picked your grant. How do you actually apply? Step 1, go to SAM.gov. This is where your organization gets its unique entity ID, or UEI. This is your passport in the federal grant world, so you should guard it with your life. Step 2, go to Grants.gov. This is the official portal where you'll find the application and submit everything using your UEI. On Grants.gov, you're looking for something called the NOFO. That's the Notice of Funding Opportunity. Inside the NOFO are the guidelines. The NOFO guidelines aren't just suggestions, they're the rubric. The EPA reviewer will literally have your application in one hand and their criteria in the other, checking things off. So as you write your application, constantly ask yourself, is your paragraph answering a question in the EPA guidelines? Outside of the guidelines, there are several forms to submit that require you to reach out to your local environmental agencies. The grant cycle itself is actually pretty predictable. In fall, the NOFO is posted. Here's a tip. If you sign up for EPA's listserv, you'll get an email the moment the NOFO drops. Late fall, applications are typically due. In the spring and early summer, awards are announced. In late summer, the funding becomes available. The following fall is when your project officially kicks off. I know this was a lot of information. Applying for your first grant can feel like climbing a mountain. Since this process is detail-oriented, this isn't something that can be completed in one day. But every park, every new business, every new community garden started with somebody just like you, asking the first questions on how they can redevelop an abandoned site. That transformation we talked about in the beginning, that's not just pieces of paper on a desk. Those are projects happening throughout the country, and that can happen in your community too. To start your own conversation, reach out to us. TAB at njit.edu and njit.edu/tab.